The story starts with the death of Howard "Red" Stevens, a rich and powerful businessman. His passing sets everything in motion. Before he died, Red had recorded a video message because he knew his death would bring changes for the people he left behind. We meet Ted Hamilton, Red's close friend and trusted legal advisor. He stays calm after Red's death, showing he was ready for this moment.
Contact family members, various corporate boards.
He tells his capable assistant, Miss Hastings, to inform the family and business partners about Red's passing. She comforts him gently, showing they have a close relationship that likely comes from years of working together. At the funeral, Red's two sons arrive, unhappy about the rainy weather. Their faces show more irritation than sadness, which makes it clear they are only there out of duty.
Well, it's a sure bet he's laughing, watching us get soaked.
Seriously? They're complaining about rain at their own dad's funeral? The lack of emotion is just something else. As rain falls softly, a little girl holding a bright pink umbrella appears. Unlike the adults, she lifts her face to the sky, enjoying the raindrops. Her mother gently pulls her back, worried about her catching a cold. Suddenly, loud music comes from a nearby car. Red's grandson, Jason Stevens, arrives late. He looks proud and carefree, wearing sunglasses and smoking. He doesn't seem to care much about the funeral. The little girl seems happy to see him and smiles, but his mother, annoyed by his behavior, reminds him that he's late. Jason doesn't take it seriously and brushes her off. Inside the room where Red's will is going to be read, Hamilton shares how sad he is to lose Red, both as a partner and a friend.
I am deeply grieved by his passing.
Before he can say more, Red's oldest son rudely tells him to start reading the will. Wow, his kids are just itching for that money. No patience at all. You can almost feel the tension. When it is finally read, this son is excited to hear he is getting a company worth $600 million, but his excitement quickly fades. Red has made sure he would have no power to run the company because he believed his son would ruin it.
I don't imagine that will change much after my death. Therefore, the board will maintain control.
The message is clear. His son never cared for the business before, and Red didn't trust him to care for it now. Yes, Red really called their bluff from beyond the grave. That's a power move right there. He still got it.
But my client would like to explore all of his options.
Your client has no more options.
Feeling embarrassed, the son storms out. Jason enters the room while the reading continues. Red's daughter becomes upset when she is given a 10,000-acre cow farm, something she clearly doesn't want.
What's that worth anyway?
Another son also gets something he doesn't like and angrily leaves. On the other hand, Red's sister-in-law is happy to receive the large house she has been living in, along with money to cover her future needs. However, even this comes with a condition. Hamilton will still control the property.
The deed and title for the house will remain under the control of my trustees.
As members of Red's family begin to leave, Hamilton calls out Jason's name. Jason is shocked. He thought his grandfather had left him nothing. Curious, he stays. Hamilton gives him a box filled with envelopes, his so-called inheritance.
Your inheritance.
Using a key, Hamilton opens the box and takes out a CD. Jason looks annoyed, thinking it's a joke. Still, he listens. Red's voice admits that he probably failed Jason the most and says he has spent a lot of time thinking about how to fix that. Red explains that Jason will not receive anything right now. He says giving Jason something directly would only harm him, as it did with the rest of the family.
What I mean by that is that I'm not giving you anything just yet, so sit back down there.
Instead, Red has created a list of challenges or gifts for Jason to complete. If he finishes them, he will receive the final reward. But if he fails, he gets nothing. Each challenge must be done well enough to satisfy Hamilton.
You might want to make friends with him sooner than later.
Whoa, this is like a real-life video game quest. The 12 Labors of Jason. I'm actually kind of excited to see what these gifts are. The first task begins with a 7 a.m. flight to Texas. Jason is annoyed and confused. He wonders what Red could possibly give him now. Angry, he slams the door and leaves. At home, Jason complains to his girlfriend about the crazy trip.
Well, if I want to play into his little power trip, I gotta go pick it up.
He jokes about how it's just another one of Red's ways to control him. She tells him to go through with it. There might be something worth it in the end. Thinking about what he might get, he agrees to go. At the airport, Jason shows up riding a motorcycle, escorted by police for driving dangerously.
Police escort. Sorta.
He parks carelessly and goes inside. Miss Hastings gives him his ticket. Without looking, Jason sits in first class, acting confident. But he's soon told to move to the back where he is surrounded by crying babies, coughing people, and tight seats. It's a big change for someone used to a fancy lifestyle. Once he arrives in Texas, Jason is greeted by Gus, a tough and honest man. Gus quickly notices Jason has probably never worked hard in his life. As they drive, Gus speaks warmly about Red, especially his love for real honest work.
I go way back. He was some man.
Jason is surprised when Gus says they've been driving on Red's land for over 30 minutes. They shortly reach a simple house in the countryside. Gus tells Jason that breakfast is at 5 a.m. Jason, confused, asks where his inheritance is, but Gus only laughs and walks away. Jason complains to himself, feeling like he's being punished.
So this is hell.
My body aches just thinking about it. Gus is not messing around. This is definitely not the 5-star resort he's used to. The next morning, Jason sleeps in and misses breakfast. Gus, without sympathy, wakes him up with a cattle prod. They head out to a large field where Jason is told to build fences. He doesn't know why this matters, so he puts in little effort and looks for a phone signal. The following day, he tries a bit harder, but his work is still poor. Gus silently ties a rope to the fence posts and pulls them down with his truck, showing Jason how badly he did. Later, Jason finds a phone signal and calls his girlfriend. She asks about the gift, but Jason only mentions vague tasks that involve land and tools. He starts to think maybe the real gift will come after he finishes the work. Encouraged by this idea, Jason begins to take the work seriously. He wakes up early, works hard, and finally installs the fence posts the right way. Gus notices and seems pleased, though he doesn't say much. Jason continues working for an entire month without complaining. Slowly, he becomes more confident and disciplined. When the month ends, he hands over the job to a new team and gets ready to leave. Gus drops him off at the airport and says that with the effort Jason showed, he can succeed at anything.
You do any work like you just did, you can do anything.
Jason still asks about the gift. Gus just laughs again and drives away. Back at Hamilton's office, Jason angrily says he wasted a month doing hard labor. Hamilton calmly replies that this was the gift of work. Jason stops yelling. He begins to understand. He apologizes and feels that something important might be happening in his life.
Because you are going to fail. I expect you to fail and to fail miserably.
When he asks what's next, Hamilton only says he'll find out soon. The gift of work. It sounds so simple, but it makes so much sense. He actually gets it now. This is a turning point. Jason returns to his apartment and finds it completely empty. His car is gone. It's been taken away. In Hamilton's office, another recording plays. Red talks about loss, saying that people often start living only after they lose everything.
Now let's see who your real friends are.
Jason listens and feels bitter. He accuses Red of still trying to control everyone, even after death. He says no one came to the funeral unless they expected to get something. Then the next challenge is revealed. Jason must find one real friend by the end of the month.
With one true friend.
That night, Jason takes his girlfriend to a fancy restaurant and orders expensive champagne. She thinks he is about to propose, but instead he lies and says he needs a place to stay because his apartment is being fixed. When his credit card doesn't work, he says it's just a bank mistake and asks her to pay.
The charge card company declined the charge. I'm switching accounts right now and I'm temporarily out of money.
You're asking me to pay the bill?
Realizes his true reasons and leaves him. Jason is left alone and embarrassed. He finally begins to see how fake and shallow many of his relationships really are. Oof, that crash and burn was spectacular. Good for her for walking away. He deserved that. He's finally seeing how superficial his life was. As he faces reality, Jason starts thinking more seriously about what really matters in life.
Can I help you?
After making several phone calls, Jason realizes no one is willing to offer him a place to stay. Even his own mother refuses to help. She has already been warned by Hamilton that helping Jason could cost her everything. With no other option, Jason ends up falling asleep beside a swimming pool. Early the next morning, a maid finds him and harshly wakes him up, forcing him to leave. This is tough to watch. Sleeping by a pool, getting kicked out, he's really in the trenches now. No one's coming to save him. Feeling hopeless and tired, Jason walks into a park and sits on a bench, not knowing that a homeless man already considers it his own. Tension quickly grows as Jason tries to take the space, but the man stands his ground, saying that it's a free country and he has every right to sit there too. Jason sarcastically challenges the idea, asking the man to name even one thing in the country that is truly free. They decide to solve the issue by flipping a coin, but neither of them has any money to use.
I'll flip you for it.
Suddenly, the little girl appears and offers them a quarter. Just as they prepare to toss the coin, the homeless man grabs it out of the air and runs away. Jason watches him leave without surprise. The girl stays behind and starts talking to him. She says she remembers seeing him at the funeral. Her name is Emily. Her mother, noticing her talking to a stranger again, rushes over, calls her back, and warns her. Jason calmly tells them he's not dangerous, even though he clearly feels hurt inside.
Dear, don't be ridiculous. Sorry to disturb you. Come on.
That's okay, I'm not the one who's disturbed.
As Emily leaves, she throws out a painful comment, calling Jason a terrible friend. Her words hit him hard. Then, in his usual straightforward way, he asks if she wants to be friends. When he tries to explain a situation, Emily tells him it's not complicated, just sad.
No, it's not. It's pathetic.
For an entire month, Jason lives on the streets. He secretly watches his girlfriend from a distance and discovers that she is cheating on him. On the last day of his challenge, he sees Emily and her mother Alexia having a picnic. The same homeless man shows up again and begins to bother them. Jason quickly distracts him by challenging him to a race back to the bench.
Yeah, my bench.
Later, Jason tells Alexia and Emily about the challenge he's been going through. He says he can't make any promises but wants to be honest. Alexia seems unsure but doesn't turn him away. At Hamilton's office, Emily tries to get attention by loudly sipping her drink.
Emily, it's not polite to...
She confidently says she wants Jason to stay in her life, making her mother fall quiet with deep thought. Outside the building, Emily suggests meeting the next day at their usual picnic spot. Jason walks away and casually says yes, showing his contempt once again.
Just a minute, pal. You owe me.
At Hamilton's office, Red makes a comment about how Jason used to treat money like air. Always there, never appreciated. Jason then receives a paycheck for his work in Texas. His new task is to spend the money on someone who truly needs it. The gift of giving. This is perfect. He's been on the receiving end of so much. Now he gets to make a difference. Back in the park, Jason thinks about giving the money to the homeless man, but the man runs away after being caught going through Alexia's purse. Later, Jason learns that Alexia is struggling with heavy debts because of Emily's hospital bills. He finds out that Emily has a room in the hospital. Thus, he leaves a bag of money there and unexpectedly runs into Alexia. Then she reveals something heartbreaking. Emily has leukemia. When Jason tells her he was told to give the money away, Alexia gets upset. She thinks he used her and Emily as part of some kind of challenge. A private investigator sent by Hamilton shows up and Jason tells him to pay the hospital bill.
She owes $1,600 in back rent. Pay it.
He still needs another $100, which he personally gives to Hamilton later. With that task done, Jason now has to reconnect with his family and see if there is any thankfulness among them. It's almost Thanksgiving. Just as Red's doctor had predicted, Jason visits Emily in the hospital chapel. She warmly greets him and calls him her best friend. She talks softly about death, imagining God holding colorful butterflies in his hands. She suddenly breaks down, crying about how unfair it feels for someone to die. Jason holds her and says those divine arms are meant for her. She then asks what will happen to her mom without her, and jokingly says she wouldn't mind if Jason kissed her.
I wouldn't be upset if you kissed her.
Do you think your mom and I...
Okay, it's official.
She accuses him of being blind to their connection. Emily believes they are meant to be together. She even reminds him of the first time they met in the park. She convinces him to spend Thanksgiving with her and her mother. Later, Alexia hears heartbreaking news. Chemotherapy won't be enough to save Emily. The hope she held on to starts to fade. She cries on Jason's shoulder. They sit at the hospital cafe and Alexia tells Jason about her past. Emily's father left them to focus on college. Despite the hardship, she says Emily is the best decision she ever made.
She's the best decision I ever made.
She thanks Jason, believing he paid the hospital bill. He invites her to join him for Thanksgiving, but she says her place is with her daughter. That same day, Emily sees her mother looking distant and thoughtful. Alexia tells her Jason invited her for Thanksgiving and jokes that she gave him a sarcastic answer, not wanting to miss a moment with her daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course I told him whatever, loser.
Walking beside Jason, Alexia says Emily has pushed her away. Emily smiles proudly and says they are meant for each other. On Jason's first Thanksgiving bus ride, Alexia arrives at a huge mansion. She is amazed by the luxury, but soon sees the truth about Jason's family. They argue constantly. When Jason suggests that each say what they are thankful for, they laugh at him.
I was hoping maybe we could all go around the table and each say something that we're most thankful for.
One of Red's sons even sarcastically thanks fate for taking their father away. Oh, this family is just the worst. Zero self-awareness. Laughing at thankful for, they're just so entitled and bitter. The topic of inheritance comes up. A cousin plays one of Red's old recorded messages, which causes tension.
Hey!
What in the world is that?
All right, you're back.
The family feels betrayed and demands answers. Jason quietly walks out, thinking about how selfish and greedy they all are. Alexia tells him he no longer belongs in that world. Jason acts like he doesn't get it. She gets hurt and says she'll pay him back as soon as she can. Later, Jason stares at a photo of Hamilton's late wife. Hamilton tells him she died young. Jason felt bad and expressed his condolences.
Yeah. She passed away shortly after we were married.
Hamilton encourages him to appreciate Alexia and become the man she needs. Red's final recorded message warns Jason that life will get harder before it gets better. Jason's new task is completely different. He must leave the country. Emily feels disappointed and tells him to be back by Christmas. Jason travels to South America and visits a public library started by his grandfather. His father used to work there before he died. The library is filled with old books passed from hand to hand.
And the books that are here I can't even read. Great.
The librarian shows Jason a letter his grandfather proudly kept on display. The letter reveals that as a young boy, Jason had only one wish: to spend time with both his father and Red. He had always blamed his grandfather for taking his father away. The truth hits him deeply. He realizes that all his anger came from a simple wish: the desire to be loved. After putting in steady, honest effort for a while, Jason meets a man who claims he was there the night Jason's father died.
I was here the night he died.
Jason immediately asks him to guide him to the site of the crash, hoping to find some closure. But the man refuses. He seems scared, saying this area is too dangerous and he doesn't want to risk his life going back. He walks away, leaving Jason frustrated and confused. Not long after, a special event is held to honor Red, the founder of the library. People gather to celebrate his life in the space he created. As Jason watches the guests, he notices how much love and respect everyone has for Red. They speak about how the library has changed their lives. Listening to their stories and feeling their joy, Jason starts to understand why this place means so much to the community. In that moment, something changes inside him. The anger and sadness he has carried about his father's death begin to ease just a little. He feels a gentle, emotional connection to his father, as if the love Red gave to others still carries his memory. This is beautiful. He's finally seeing Red through other people's eyes, not just his own pain. It's like a weight is lifting off him. The next morning, Jason decides to take matters into his own hands. He begins the journey to find the crash site where his father died. But something unexpected happens. After driving for a while, he hears a noise from the back of the Jeep. To his surprise, the man who had earlier refused to help him has secretly hidden there. He now chooses to go with Jason.
My purpose in coming to you was a promise I made to Senor Red.
The man finally tells the truth. He once made a promise to Jason's grandfather to help Jason discover what really happened to his father. After arriving at one point, Jason saw the aftermath of his father's accident and wept with deep sadness. All Jason's life, he believed that his father had died heroically while trying to rescue a villager in danger. That was the story everyone told him. But the truth is different and painful, and this man right here breaks it to him.
Red wanted to introduce your father to the oil business.
The man explains that Jason's father was simply bored with life. He had been seeking excitement and acted recklessly, which led to the crash. His death wasn't heroic, it was a tragic result of a careless decision. Red had tried to protect Jason from this painful truth by hiding it from him. Suddenly, their chat is interrupted by a group of men armed with guns surrounding them. They tell Jason and his companion that they are being held for ransom. If no one responds to pay for their freedom, they threaten to kill them in a few weeks.
Apréselos para el rescate. Si en una semana nadie nos sigue, mátenlos.
To show how little they value knowledge, they laugh cruelly and set fire to the library books. Jason watches in horror as the flames rise, destroying what so many people treasured. He feels lost, heartbroken, and betrayed. He can't understand how people could be so cruel as to burn something meant to help and inspire others. Days pass slowly in captivity. Jason tries to stay mentally strong. He even starts learning some Spanish words from the guards. But the fear and stress wear him down. One day the captors come and open the cage. They tell Jason and the men to come out, pretending they are going to execute them. The air is thick with fear. Then, loud gunshots echo, but they're fired into the sky. The men shout, "Merry Christmas!" laughing as they announce that the two will be killed the next day instead.
¡Feliz Navidad!
That's a messed up Christmas joke. Seriously, these guys are sick. My heart is pounding. This is so messed up. However, something unexpected gives Jason a chance. One of the guards carelessly closes the cage but doesn't lock it. So later in the dawn, Jason quietly pushes the door open, heart pounding. He sneaks out and quickly frees the man. The two shortly escape into the dark night, running with all their strength, driven by pure adrenaline and the desperate need to survive. Eventually, Jason makes it back to the airport and is reunited with Alexia.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
She wraps her arms around him, holding him tightly. It's clear she and Emily have been extremely worried. Jason tries to lift the mood by promising that they'll spend Christmas together next year. But Alexia's voice is quiet and heavy as she replies, there might not be a next year. He begins to truly understand how fragile life is. At that moment, he starts to question what wealth really means. What use is money if it can't protect the people he loves? Alexia's words, that's the real gut punch. Emily, he's finally truly grasping the fragility of life. What's money worth if it can't save someone you love? Later, Jason looks through some old letters his grandfather Red had written. As he reads them, he discovers the depth of Red's sorrow. One letter in particular stands out. In it, Red expresses deep guilt for making Jason's father work for him. He writes that no parent should ever have to bury their child. These letters shake Jason to his core, but they also awaken a new feeling, empathy. He starts to see that everything he has gone through was meant to teach him compassion, kindness, and real understanding of others. Jason visits Emily in the hospital. She looks weak and pale, her energy almost gone.
Welcome back, stranger.
When he walks in, she greets him with a soft voice and even makes a light joke about the small gift he brought her from the airport. She's clearly disappointed that he wasn't there for Christmas, but her face lights up when Jason gently kisses her cheek and tells her he missed her too. Emily shares two simple wishes. She wants to celebrate Christmas and ride a horse. Jason hesitates. He tries to explain that it may take some time to arrange everything, but Emily interrupts him softly but firmly. She wants it now. Jason picks up the phone and calls Mr. Hamilton, asking for a private jet.
I need to borrow my grandfather's jet.
At first, Hamilton refuses, but Miss Hastings, hearing the request, steps in and approves it. Soon they are flying to Texas. There, Gus decorates the house with bright and cheerful Christmas lights. When Emily sees the lights, her face shines with joy. This is the Christmas she had dreamed of. A simple, happy day with people she loves. While standing with Alexia under the glowing lights, Jason tells her that Emily wants to go horseback riding, but Alexia starts crying out of nowhere.
She's terrified of horses.
Through tears, she tells Jason that the dream wasn't Emily's, it was hers. Emily is actually scared of horses, but wanted to give Alexia her childhood dream. Even so, the next morning, they all go horseback riding together. Jason helps Alexia off her horse and says he needs to do something special for Emily. Then they kiss, and it feels like the beginning of something beautiful and new. Gus and Emily look at them, smiling warmly, witnessing the quiet start of their love story. Wait, Emily gave Alexia her dream? That's so selfless. And the kiss, finally. This is such a tender moment. My heart is so full right now. Later, Jason listens to one more message from Red. In the recording, Red encourages Jason to keep dreaming and, more importantly, to act on those dreams.
Jason, you need to be free to dream.
That night, Jason sits with Emily and asks what her biggest dream is. She smiles and says that it has already come true. Her dream was to have one perfect day, surrounded by people who truly love her and love one another. Tears fill her eyes as Jason gently carries her back into the house. Inside, Jason admits that he's still unsure of his own dreams. Until now, he only cared about enjoying life.
For as long as I can remember, all I wanted to do was have fun.
But Emily lifts his heart, reminding him that he gave her everything she ever wished for. She tells him that even if he doesn't have much in life, he is rich in love, especially with Alexia by his side. Back in Mr. Hamilton's office, Jason gives a heartfelt speech. He explains how he once wandered through life without purpose. Now he wants to help others achieve their dreams. Following Red Stevens' final instructions, Jason is given $100 million to use however he chooses. To his surprise, the money doesn't thrill him.
Congratulations, Jason.
So that's it?
Yes, I think so.
Miss Hastings notices his calm reaction and tells him it's because he's no longer the same person. He has changed. $100 million, and he's not even excited? He's truly transformed. This is not the same kid we saw at the funeral. This is amazing to witness. Jason then presents a powerful idea. He wants to build a place where families can live together while their loved ones get medical treatment. The project will cost $350 million. To show how serious he is, Jason offers the full $100 million he was given. When someone tries to challenge his plan, Jason makes it clear this is not a suggestion, it's a decision. He argues that this amount is equal to what the company once earned from his grandfather in a single year. Mr. Hamilton supports Jason's proposal. Suddenly, Alexia gets a phone call and rushes out.
Hey! Whoa!
Jason follows her and finds her in Emily's hospital room crying. Emily has passed away. Jason sits beside her heartbroken. Alexia tells him that Emily had asked her to attend the meeting because it was important to her. They grieve together, deeply affected by the loss. In memory of Emily, they open a home in her name that becomes the foundation for a new health center. Even the mayor joins their mission, and construction soon begins. A beautiful legacy for Emily. She truly changed him, and now he's changing the world because of her. It's bittersweet, but so powerful. Meanwhile, a private investigator brings a recording that shows Jason broke some rules to get extra money for Emily's hospital care. These actions technically mean he failed the final test, but Jason doesn't care.
Stealing private property.
He smiles, knowing he did it out of love. In Red's final message, he admits that he expected Jason might break the rules. But in doing so, Jason proved his heart had grown. Red's voice says he is proud of Jason and that his spirit will live on through him. When the message ends, Jason softly replies his honest feeling towards his grandfather.
I love you, son.
I love you too.
Finally, Mr. Hamilton reads an official document. It transfers all of Red Stevens' wealth, $2 billion, to Jason. Jason is stunned and can hardly believe it. Hamilton looks at Miss Hastings and tells her that, just like she once worked with Red, she will now work alongside Jason to help change the world. $2 billion. He actually got it all, and he's going to use it for good. This is such a fantastic ending. He's not just rich, he's rich in spirit. What a journey.